In this video, we're going to take a look at what you can do if an address is not locating in the correct position on the map. So you can see that this is an address in Mount Vernon, Washington. You can see that this marker is showing in Mount Vernon, but if we zoom out a little bit further, you can see that that is not the right state. It is the wrong Mount Vernon. This happens sometimes because the geocoder from Google is not able to correctly place your address. So there are a few different things you can do. The first thing you can do is check your address lines 1 and 2, especially if you're using a PO box or something like that. You may need to reverse the order so that the address in line 2 goes to line 1 and line 1 goes to line 2. That's just because of how the address is fed into the geocoder. In this case, this is just a suite number, so that wouldn't make a difference. It would not be contextually sensible if it was first. But that is something you can try swapping and see if that makes a difference. The next thing that you can try is to go to Google Maps. And we're going to check our address in Google Maps. I'm just going to copy that. And what we're looking for is to see how Google puts the address. So you can see this is 130 South 15th Street, Mount Vernon. If we had perhaps 130 15th Street South, sometimes you'll get a difference like that. It's quite a small one, but for some reason that can be enough to throw Google's geocoder off. So if you see a difference between how the address is displayed by Google Maps versus how you've entered it in your system, try using the address as Google Maps has it. Just populate it in, make sure you've got your auto geocode on, and save. In this case, we don't have that. We have the same address, so that's not the issue that we need to change. At this point, you're down to manually putting the address in. So the geocoder that is available for programs like Economic Gateway to use with Google Maps to place their icons is not the same geocoder that Google Maps uses itself. And so sometimes there are situations where it's just not going to geocode correctly. So in that case, you want to, again, come back to Google Maps, find the location on the map. So in this case, I'm just scrolling out so I can make sure this is in Washington. So I'm happy with that. So now I want to get the latitude and longitude. So you can see this little red marker is showing me where that address is. If you right or control click on it, you'll get a drop down and you can see the first thing here is your latitude, longitude. So I'm just going to click on that, which will copy it in my clipboard. And I'm going to come back to the admin. Make sure that you turn off auto geocode if you're doing this, because auto geocode will automatically resend this address to Google and geocode it its own way, which would overwrite anything that you've entered into it. So now we can just select what's in the latitude field, paste. This pasted both the latitude and longitude because that's what it's copied. So now I'm going to copy just the longitude. That'll be the one with the negative number if you're in the US. Delete the space and the comma because that's not relevant for the latitude, and paste that in place. So now I've pasted in that latitude, longitude that you saw here. I've pasted that in manually to the latitude, longitude fields. And again, I've made sure auto geocode is off. So that should allow me to save my manual information. So now if I save that, then if I come to the front end, let's try refreshing this. And you can see the map is in a different location. If I scroll out, you can see that it is now placed in Washington. If you're not seeing it, do make sure that you try a hard refresh versus just a regular refresh. Sometimes it can just be a case of your browser having cached the previous location information. But those are your options for dealing with map placement.